And without further ado, everybody, it's time for the Champrul Show!
It's time for the Champrul Show, featuring Champrul and his ex-wife, Francesca. On tonight's episode, it's Francesca's final episode with the show. Let's check out some of her favorites as both of them walk down memory lane. And we've got musical guest Dr. Lemon with his hit single, This Song. And now to get things started, you know him for marrying a video game, it's Champrul. Hey everybody, welcome to the show today. We've got a very interesting show for you today. It's gonna be a doozy. First of all, I just want to let you all know that this is Francesca's official last show with us. Francesca, who has been with us, forever now at this point, has decided to step away from the show. We're going to get my perspective on that as well as her perspective on that later on in the show. And can pretty much just expect today's show to be a coming of age type of thing. I don't know what I mean by that, but well, you'll see as we get into the show today. But before I even get into any of that, I do want to address my suit. Yes, this suit obviously does not fit. And the reason for that is because, if you want me to be honest, I haven't had a reason to wear a suit in quite some time. Even when I bought this suit, I bought the suit online, and even at the time it did not fit. The arms are way too long, while the body is way too small. And of course, if you've been following a few things, I don't talk about it that much, but we'll start to talk about it a little bit more on stream because we are getting more into Ring Fit, and I'm hoping to bring Bike Up back to you all soon, maybe just not on Sundays. Because I've noticed for some reason, me and Bike Up on Sundays, it doesn't really work out. Me and anything on Sundays don't really work out. Played Up Sundays are sticking around because, for one, Sunday is one of the only opportunities I can stream. And for two, I like the bond with everybody. But if I have to do exercise while I'm doing that bond, my body says no. So we're going to try to bring Bike Up back in some capacity. Just don't know when. Anyway, that'll hopefully help with the sizing of the suit. But yeah, I wanted to bring that up for everybody, okay? You can go ahead, this is the suit. Also, you may notice the shirt I'm wearing. It's not a Champrul Show brand shirt. This is Mythical Entertainment, Rhett and Link, Good Mythical Morning, all that jazz if you know of it. They have honestly been an inspiration to a lot of the content that's been created through the Champrul Show, through the stream, through the YouTube videos. They've been a big inspiration in a lot of that. And so with Francesca's final show here today, of course, it is about Francesca, but I did want to just kind of lead into how we got here, and that's because of Mythical. I don't think that I would be doing as much content creation. Of course, it wasn't Mythical when I started watching Rhett and Link, but it did over time become Mythical, and that's pretty much just where we are as far as that goes. With the show today, right now you may notice that alerts are not going through. There will be certain times during today's show where you will not hear or see alerts. There is a pinned chat or pinned comment in the chat about that. We will have certain segments that I will be able to hear and see and react to chat, of course, and that will be when I'm at the desk most of the time. But I'll basically let you know during those segments if I'm able to hear and see and react to chat and all of that with you at that moment. Right now, I'm just too far away from any screen to be able to see anything. But yeah, that's pretty much the opening for this. I'll go into a little bit more detail. I actually want to get to the desk. But before we do, I just want to talk about what we've got coming up today. We have someone coming out of retirement for our musical performance today. Dr. Lemon with This Song. That is a song he has not performed in over a decade now. So we're getting to experience that live tonight on the show. This song by Dr. Lemon. I cannot wait to hear that. We've got Fran's final cooking segment. If you know anything about Francesca, she loves cooking segments. So it's going to be absolutely awesome to hear that or to hear and see that as well. And I don't know what the food is yet, but I'm hoping that I get some of it, and we'll see. We've also got a top 10 coming up later on, and we'll also visit Francesca's office space here at the studio. So stay tuned, everybody. We've got a great show coming up, and yeah, let's head on over to the desk and let's get this thing started.
All right. Firstly, she's not dying. She is old, but like that's neither here nor there. But yes, we are here. Yeah, right on time, Reaper. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is gonna be, like I've been saying to y'all earlier, it's gonna be an exciting show. Fran is not dying. I mean, she hasn't told me if she's dying. Like if she is, that's on her. But to my knowledge, Francesca is not dying. Okay, let's settle down on that, everybody. She's not. There's no rip. There's. She has to make it through this show. Okay, she is under contract for the next hour, so she has to make it through this episode. Then whatever happens after that is on her. But to my knowledge, she's not dying. And it's listen, no, Polar, you cannot die either. No one is allowed to die. Okay, goodness gracious. But again, as I just said, just to kind of give y'all a summary of what I just said, alerts will be off until at least 8 p.m. Eastern. That includes the sound alert, so if you redeem it, you're not going to hear it. uh Polar, please be careful. Polar, I got this cactus for you, by the way. I hope you like it. Yeah, like that one. That's not gonna work. You're not gonna hear anything from it, or at least you shouldn't. I don't know if you did, but you shouldn't. Okay, like that one, you're not gonna hear that either. I'm so glad that y'all are able to give examples of different things that we're not gonna hear for the next hour. But we will hear them afterwards. Another thing that we won't hear for the next hour. Thank you so much for that example as well. That is a word, whether you heard it or not. It's whatever on you. But anyway, uh are y'all good? Are y'all good? Because it seems you've missed so much. I don't know that you've missed anything per se. What do you feel like you've missed? Aside from the fact that it is the Champrul show today. And it is Francesca's last episode. Uh the journey that me and her have had has been something. I miss Champ firing Fran. I did not fire her. I did not fire her. This was on her own accord. She is going to be working on her own solo project from here. It just in her mind, it seemed that, being business partners after everything we've been through relationship wise probably wasn't best. Which brings me to the top 10 that we're going to be having. We do have a break, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we have a break after this segment. And then we're going to go into my top 10 reasons that I think it's good that Fran has decided to leave the talk show. Like exes as friends. I wouldn't say that. Not all exes. And not as friends either. Exes as friends is fine. Me and Fran just aren't really necessarily friends. So it makes it even more awkward. But I am friends with two of my exes. 2.5. What the half is that we don't communicate ever, but when we do, we act like we never stopped. So like 2.5 exes that I'm still friends with. 15 years, y'all. The 15-year friends, y'all know who I'm talking about there. But yeah, I'm excited for the show. Again, for those that weren't here, for those that weren't in Discord, I am nervous. about this show. I'm just going to break the fourth wall a little bit there. I'm very nervous. I want everything to go off without a hitch, and I have no idea if that's going to be the case. Already, as this segment started, something was about to break, and I had to fix it immediately. So I was able to fix it. You didn't see anything. It's fantastic. Everything's going according to plan, and I hope it stays that way. But again, we've got the top 10 fireside coming up in just a few minutes. And then it's gonna be a doozy of a show today. If you were listening to Zam's podcast last Thursday, I think it was last Thursday. I don't know what day it was. Can you try to break it? I mean, sure, but like nothing's open that you should be able to interact with. So I don't know. Yeah, like that. That's not open. Seki, welcome in. Happy Friday. If that was open though, it would have actually, yes. If that was open, I would have been covered in fog, which wouldn't have broken anything, but you know, it just would have been weird to have that in this lovely studio that we have here. But yeah, Seki, welcome into the talk show. Recorded live in front of a digital studio audience. It is Francesca's final show. And I'm not gonna get emotional about it. I refuse to get emotional about it. One thing I will say is I'm excited for Dr. Lemon at the end. The studio needs better AC. It kind of does. It kind of does. Turn off the lights? No. But like also you can't, if that's what you're asking. Long live Fran? No. Absolutely not. I mean, well, yes, I mean life. Um she's not dying. To my knowledge, Francesca's not dying, okay? That's where I'll leave that at. I didn't say that. She's not dying to my knowledge. Everything is fine. Everything is fine, okay? Goodness gracious. It is Friday. Yes, it's Friday, right? It's Friday. It's like the end games, but no, listen. If you're wanting me to break that fourth wall, Fran does not die at the end of the show today. I can assure you that. I just Happy Saturday, Saki. Good morning. You're watching the nighttime talk show in the morning in the future. But that is the only fourth wall that I will break. But from here, we do have a break. We'll be back with the fireside chat top 10 of Fran's reasons to leave. Stay tuned. Hey, subscribers, you still there? You get exclusive extra fourth wall breaking. You do not need a salute for Fran. Everything is going to be fine. Raiders from Lee are probably very confused on what's happening. I just thought about that. Nephew, you expect it at this point. You expect me to be weird. Also, Polar, now that you've mentioned the AC, I realize that it's not on. And it's actually getting a little toasty in here. And I don't like it. Where are the other three walls? You mean because we're breaking the fourth wall? I don't know. We only see two? Oh yeah, you do see a second. I'm like, what do you mean you see two? I'm like, you only see one. But no, I've already forgotten that we've redone the studio. House tour? I mean, there is a tour of something in the show today. This is also a time to let y'all know that the banned words are not there, but I will be timing people out accordingly if needed.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We're getting set up for the next thing, which is going to be me kind of taking a peek at Fran's workspace. But for now, I kind of wanted to go into the top 10 reasons that I think Francesca should leave the show. Starting with number 10, our relationship has had more breakups than I've had cake on my birthday. Number 9, being a part of a late night talk show and then immediately being a morning news anchor is kind of a rough schedule, just being real. Number 8, speaking of her schedule, Fran hates being up past 7 p.m. even when she's on vacation from both jobs. I don't understand it. If it's 6:30, you'll start to hear yawns, and if she's up past 7:30 without some kind of caffeine, it's lights out. Number 7, every time that she's asked to do one of our segments on the talk show by herself, if it's not a cooking segment, she ends up calling out sick. And I have never really seen her sick a day in my life, so yeah. Fortunately, later today she does have a cooking segment, so she did not call out sick for that, which would be a real shame to do on your final show anyway, but she didn't. Number 6, Francesca leaving the show means less weird segments for me, which means less being irritated every time I look at the schedule. Sometimes I look and there's things that both of us have to do together, and it's just, why? And I know it's her idea. I haven't said anything about it, but Francesca, I know it's your idea. But I won't have to worry about that anymore. Number 5 in the top 10 reasons I think it's good that Francesca's leaving the show is that every musical guest appearance that we've had, she ends up making them feel awkward or leave or both, which hopefully isn't foreshadowing for Dr. Lemon's performance tonight. Number 4, at her new job, she'll be able to use the budget the way she's always wanted to. A room full of glitter and a 24/7 buffet. Which is strange because she doesn't really like buffets. So, or glitter. But that's what she wants. So maybe she'll be able to put that in the budget. Number 3, truthfully, her mother doesn't really like that me and Francesca are associated with each other. Whether it be the talk show itself or, having to go on work trips together or just our names being together on social media. She just doesn't really want us being associated with each other at all. Number 2, if I'm being honest, I don't really care to be associated with either of them as well. I mean, her mother kind of strict, and then, it's Fran. I think I've given enough explanation of my association with her. This has been work related at this point. I don't know if I need to explain that. This talk show is work related. We don't do anything outside of the talk show. Kind of hate her. And the number one reason that I think Francesca should leave the talk show is, if I'm being real, I want what's best for her, and she's better than this show. She has put a lot of work into this show over the past few years, and it's been able to see the show flourish because of that. But I do think that her talents are better used in bigger and better things. So I'm happy for Francesca. I really am. Um, Again, we're here on Francesca's final episode of the talk show, and I couldn't be happier for her in reality. Well, I'm just kind of glad that you'll still have something, that you're good at in life, something that you're able to succeed with this show, since you can't really do that with any of your relationships. Yeah, that's pretty much that. With that being said, with Francesca leaving, we're not sure if we're gonna have a co-host. And so I figured that with this being the end of Francesca being on the show and potentially the end of me having a co host, I want to take a look at what Francesca's co host setup really is like. And if you don't know, it's actually not in the same room as the desk. It never has been, even when we were on good terms. It just wasn't really something that made sense logistically. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna transition on over there. I guess we've got cameras in there probably, but let's go ahead and take a look at Fran's office. Yeah, it's pretty interesting over here. As you can see, I've got the lovely brick wall that you've spent so much time building for some weird reason. I have this super large, super expensive desk. And then here is kind of a barricade. Currently, kind of keeps me away from you a little bit, but also it's on the other side of this is the kitchen. Let me just move this out of the way for you. I'll kind of set up the shot for your height because it's a little different. And yeah, you can enjoy my desk. I'm. It's interesting that I haven't been here yet, but let's take a look. All right. Thank you, Fran, for setting it up for me. We've even taken down the barricade over there. Yeah, I didn't realize this was your desk. This is just a tray table. It's really just a tray table. It barely fits. So like when I'm going around the studio doing different things, I have my iPad here to be able to, still see what's going on, and it takes up your whole desk. That's awkward. But yeah, so this is Fran's desk, everybody. I mean, like she said, I did spend a lot of time on this brick wall. It's all over the studio, which is something that a lot of people don't know. Some people think it's just like one area of the stream and the desk and all that, but no, it's all over the studio. So it's pretty nice. But yeah, this is a pretty cramped area. Who who put Fran back here? Anyway, so Fran is not in this area with us right now. Fran is over at my station, is what I'm being told. So hopefully she's not touching anything. But yeah, there's some interesting things like offset that Fran has here, like a pack of Uniball pens that I I've never seen her write anything in my life, so I don't know why that's even here, but I guess it would be good if she was going to write something down ever, like maybe, she'd never write down the words "I love you." It's not in her character, so anyway, so yeah, this is where if we have another co-host, this is where that co-host will sit. And I kind of think we should kind of have this as kind of like an open call. Do you want to be the new Champrul Show co-host? We would need, just even slightly more chemistry than me and Francesca. Um, that's pretty much it. I, yeah, that's pretty much all I ask for is just slightly more chemistry. In a work relationship, obviously, there's no need to get married and divorced and married and divorced and married and divorced. Just a working co-worker, co-host relationship. Let us know. We may end up picking somebody. Um, in fact, so this talk show is one of the only talk shows that's also live streamed. So let us know in the chat right now. Who would you like to be the new co-host? And what we'll do is later on in the show, we'll kind of go over that and see who we have as potential and see who would be our new co-host. I think that sounds fun. Unfortunately, you will be in this small room that feels like a broom closet a little bit, but I mean, you get to work with me. That's fun, right? I think that's fun. I I think it's fun. So yeah, just let us know. Let us know in the chat. I think there could be some potential with a lot of people. I think it would be pretty fun. Um, but, yeah, and in fact, by later on, let's actually from here. I'm gonna leave here. I'm gonna go back to my desk. So Fran, you can leave my desk now. I'm gonna head back to my desk, and yeah, let's talk it out. Let's have a moment. Me and chat right now. Let's have a me and chat moment. So yeah, I'll see you at the desk in just a second. Um, and then yeah, well, while I'm at the desk, actually, yeah, Fran, while I'm back at the desk, you can be getting set up for the cooking segment. So yeah, well, give me a second. I'll see y'all at the desk. Okay, small change of plans, everybody. I've been told that I need to show you how to make a grilled cheese. Apparently, it's not something that's common for everyone to know the appropriate way of making a grilled cheese. There are a couple of different ways, but we're going to go a little bit of an interesting route today. Some people find it interesting still. Some people say they've been doing it for years. It is the mayo method. So what we've got is 2 slices of bread. That makes a sandwich. We've got a slice of your cheap American cheese. I'm using a Kraft single. And then the best mayo of the South, Duke's mayo. So it's quite simple to make a grilled cheese, actually. You take either your mayo or your butter. And if you're a person that, doesn't like mayo, you may think, oh, well, I'm not going to want to do mayo on the bread because I don't like mayo. You really won't notice it, I promise. So we're just going to put a very thin coat of mayo, especially if you don't like mayo. A very thin coat of mayo on the outside of the bread. I'm going to figure out what I just did in my brain. I think I did that right, but I probably did it wrong. I just want to use the same, orientation of the bread, but, it's whatever. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Just want a thin coat of mayo on each side. You put one side down in your pan. You put the slice of cheese down in your pan. On top of that. And then you put your other piece of bread, which I did do it wrong, on top of that. Wow, how difficult is that? I've not really used many dishes. I have the plate that I'm going to eat off of, a knife to not only spread the mayo, but we'll also be using it to flip the sandwich and to cut the sandwich. And I have one pan that has been dirtied. I just want to say that for some people that say that making a grilled cheese uses a lot of dishes. I don't really think it does. I don't really think that it does. Now, with our studio equipment here, it usually does take a little while to cook things. So we may have a clock wipe, but I may just keep talking to y'all this whole time as well. Yeah. That is ready to go to the other side, and that looks delicious. I don't know if y'all can see it. Look at that color we got on there. I'm ready for a grilled cheese now. Good thing I have one in front of me. But yeah, so the mayo acts as your fat. When you're usually making grilled cheese with butter, that's your fat. You just need some kind of fat on your pan. So since mayo usually is just oil and eggs and some different seasonings and stuff, if anything, it really just adds to a little bit of the flavor. But again, if you don't like the flavor of mayo, I don't think you're going to notice it. It's kind of the same as like when you go to grocery stores and you're like, wow, why is this cake so moist? It's usually because they've put mayo or applesauce in the batter. You're not really going to notice that it's mayo or applesauce. It's just a really good cake or a really good grilled cheese, which is almost done here. What a weird segment this is. Imagine me thinking, oh, I'm gonna have this segment. I'm surely gonna have a segment about making a grilled cheese when it's Fran's last show and she loves doing cooking segments. I don't know why she couldn't have done this segment anyway, but that's whatever. But at this point, I think it is brown enough. Yeah, it's brown enough on this side too for me. And so we are good to take it out. We're gonna cut it the correct way, diagonally. Anyone who tells you otherwise is wrong. Let's see if we get a cheese pull. I don't think we're going to get a cheese pull. And that's fine. No cheese pull. But that's fine. What we do have is I can get a cheese pull this way. Maybe not still. Okay, but it's melted cheese inside of 2 pieces of bread. And it tastes delicious. I'm going to eat this back at the desk with y'all. Actually, I'm probably not. I'm going to scarf it all down now. Y'all will see me at the desk with nothing because of, yeah, let's get back to the desk officially now and get this show back on the road.
I don't need all this slander. Anyway, I've joined the Clean Plate Club. It was a very good grilled cheese. Uh, 2 slices. I could see 2 slices being acceptable. The Italian seasoning has me intrigued. I will say that. I might put some Italian seasoning on my next grilled cheese puller. Should season the cactus. I'm not gonna eat the cactus. Why? Yeah, why Italian seasoning though? Are you still using American cheese with the Italian seasoning? Garlic butter to make your grilled cheese? That sounds good too. I I just I feel like if I'm gonna use Italian seasoning, I kind of want like Swiss cheese or like provolone cheese. American cheese and Italian seasoning. Huh. Would you rather turmeric? No. I'm not really a fan of personally adding just turmeric to things. If it's in something, I'll use it, but like I've never just said like, "Ooh, this needs turmeric." Mayo is not my favorite dressing, but it is my second favorite condiment and my first favorite condiment to use as an ingredient. There we go. Yeah. He's screaming like a maniac has influenced. What do you mean? Also, I saw that we had 2 applications for the co-host gig. I think it seems that Raffle has volunteered Polar, who is thinking of leaving Florida, which the answer to that, yes. Whether you're co-host or not, I do think that Florida should be left. Let's be real. And then Kronos as well. So welcome in. Who is doing what? I don't know what that means. Anyway, you oh, I didn't read it. Oh. Oh. That's not dressing, that's stuffing. For me, so we've talked about this on stream before. That the thing that you eat at Thanksgiving, for me, and I think this was on Food Network or something that they gave the reason for why it's called what it's called. It's stuffing if you're actually stuffing it inside of the bird. It's dressing if you're just making it in a pan and doing that on its own. Same ingredients and everything, but and I like that answer because I've never had stuffing. I've had dressing. I like the pan of dressing. No, it doesn't make any sense that it's called dressing. I'll never understand why it's called that. Um, the word dressing seems too northern. You're the first person I've heard say that. It's usually a southern thing to say dressing. It's stuffing if you stuff it, otherwise it's dressing. You can use a lot of sage, and yeah, sage is definitely good for it. The box says stuffing, that's what it is. That's true. What do Stofers call it? I've never actually seen, like I've surely had that meal, the turkey meal that Stofers has. Exactly. I don't know where Reaper's getting that from, Raffle. That's a little confusing for me. But yeah, do not let our corporate overlords. That's true. That is also true. I'm gonna call it dressing. I'll be real. It's always gonna be dressing to me. That grilled cheese was good. I kind of want another one. Stuffing mix. Ugh. I don't know how I feel about that. Stuffing mix. Ugh. It, yeah, the mix part is what's getting me. But I mean, I guess because it's like bread and the seasonings and onion and celery. It's like I guess it is a mix of something. You don't like corn? Oh, so see, cornbread dressing that is very southern in my opinion. Cornbread dressing is the most southern answer you can give when you're asking someone what that dish is. You've got the stuffing of the north, the dressing of the south, and then you got that cornbread dressing. Yeah. Yeah. And yes, but making it from scratch. If you eat stuffing here, it's always corn. Really? Really? I know thank you, Polar. I didn't know that I was the Polar Reaper, whoever you are, Reaper. I didn't know that I was live. Yes, cornbread dressing. Ryudo, do you call it dressing or stuffing, or is it depending on how it's prepared? That's what we're talking about here. And I think you're yeah, the non-sweet. Well, okay. I can deal with non-sweet cornbread. I can actually deal with non-sweet cornbread. You sent your resume. Okay, perfect. We are looking for that co-host. I'll be sure to check that resume on our next commercial, which is coming soon. But you're not a fan of either? Depending on who I'm talking to geographically, you grew up with dressing. So I am of the belief that it's depending on how you make it. If you stuff it in the bird, it's stuffing. If it's in a pan, it's dressing. I will never ask anyone for stuffing in my life. I will eat dressing for the rest of my life. But I also okay, so well, polar Florida's the fake South. Let's be real. Um, pancakes actually in the South. So pancake saying dressing is correct. Stuffing is so good. You're sorry you started this debate. It's wait a minute. Ryudo, haven't you had this debate on your channel too? I just thought about that. I don't think this is the first time in the last 3 months I've heard this debate. How do you dress dressing? Uh, with kindness. with, with kindness. You dress dressing with kindness. And Rhodes, thank you for the follow. Oh, never mind. I'm ignoring it. Rhodes, hi. I saw nothing. Happy Friday. But Rose, welcome in. We are gonna head to another quick break, and then we will be back with Fran and some popcorn. We'll see y'all after the break. Fran's popcorn sounds like a good southern popcorn brand. Hi, narcissistic. Happy Friday. Why did it give my whole channel link like it's not my channel? No, it was not scheduled into this. So the live segments I specifically left open because I knew that y'all would, I assumed that y'all would say something about the actual content that was happening, not just I didn't, I thought it would be about the content, not about dressing and stuffing. Oh goodness. The fact that I feel like you did send a resume is concerning me. Wait, so maybe y'all took the co-host thing seriously. I feel bad now. That would mean having to do this production on a regular basis. And I don't know that I want to do that. Okay, I forgot to start the ad. So we'll start the next segment a little late. Or did I start the ad? I don't remember. No, I didn't. I've just been talking to y'all. We'll cut the next commercial. That's how we'll fix this. Oh yeah, the Burger King thing. It's an orange Whopper, which looks stupid in my opinion. Champrul Network CEO is crazy.
All right, welcome back to the show. As Champrul said before the break, this is my last official hosting segment of the show, and it's a cooking segment where we're going to try to recreate movie theater popcorn at home. So here we have just a cheap standard popcorn maker. We're following the instructions as far as the popcorn maker and adding in some vegetable oil onto the bottom and letting that get heated up. That's all standard. The two ingredients right here is what really makes the difference. So the popcorn itself is actually not just regular popcorn. It's a preferred brand of popcorn that a lot of movie theaters use. And I'm not joking. It's actually called preferred popcorn. I got it. It's called preferred popcorn. So this is a 28-ounce bag, so it'll last you quite some time. You just want to get that into the popcorn maker. You can see that this is not that much, but when things actually get going, it's going to be quite interesting. So we'll let those get in there, get coated in the oil. The popcorn maker itself is spinning everything together. It's really, really cool how this all works. So with that, we have our second interesting ingredient, which is the salt. And you can see this is a very orange salt. It is flavacol seasoning salt. It is a very, very fine salt, it's powder-like almost. And as it says here, it's for better tasting popcorn. You need a very, very little amount for your popcorn. So we're gonna sprinkle that on here as well. Just get it all over the popcorn like so. And that is gonna start working its magic. The only other thing that we're gonna need right now is our lid, which I have some butter in the lid just so that it can melt down over the popcorn. Now, it's been said that a lot of movie theaters use this method, the preferred popcorn brand and the flavacol seasoning salt. So we want to see, is that actually going to be something that really enhances the flavor of our popcorn at home? And could it kind of save us some money when it comes to going to the theater or just having that craving for movie theater popcorn at home that you really can't get from the bag stuff, you know? But while this is popping, I do just want to once again thank all of you for watching over the past 5 years. It has been an absolute pleasure to have been on this show with Champrul. Like he said, we've had a few differences, we've had our ups and downs, but one thing that we've always kept is business. And even in this is not something where the business is going sour on either of our parts. It's just that with creative differences, we felt that we wanted to kind of split the situation up, and I'm going to be moving on to a different project. So it's going to be really, really great. But I do know that Champrul is absolutely going to keep this show running to the best of his ability, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And definitely could go for at least another 5 years. Now, one thing, while this is my last hosting segment, we do have a musical performance after this segment. Ooh, we're starting to get popcorn. We have a musical segment after this segment, or a musical performance to wrap up the show. And it's a very interesting song that Dr. Lemon has created in his past, and it's going to be helpful for me too, because the song for me kind of rings true for the feelings that I have for my new girlfriend. I haven't told Champrul or you all that I'm dating again, but I am dating a very, very beautiful woman, and we couldn't be happier. And so I'm going to introduce y'all to her at the end of the show, and then also we'll just all see that song together. So I do need to take this off. It was just for the sake of melting that butter just a little bit. But we need to make that popcorn go. And look at how it's popping. I love popcorn makers just in general. So you just want to let it go until all of the popcorn is popped. You can see there's a lot of smoke coming up out of it, but that's just normal. It pops like my heart beats for my new girlfriend. It smells good. I will say that. It absolutely smells good. And I'm very excited just to, again, see, is this going to beat movie theater popcorn? After this, of course, it's going to be too much popcorn for me by myself. So I'm going to take the rest of the bowl back to Champrul so that he can have something to hold during the musical performance. I'll be holding my girlfriend. But he would need something to hold too, you know? Not like he has anything else in his life. Yeah, once you start to hear a lot less popping out of your popcorn machine, you do just want to turn it off. We're gonna keep it going for just a second because I'm still hearing, some residual pops. But of course, you don't want to burn any of the popcorn at the bottom. That's what you want to be careful of. So with that, it seems like it is actually towards its end. So we're gonna go ahead and get that off. And with this popcorn maker, once it is off, you just put that on like so, and you flip it over to reveal your delicious, delicious popcorn. Now, we gotta give it a taste. Is this a rival to that movie theater popcorn? I don't know how to eat popcorn, apparently. Oh my gosh, I really don't. But what I can say, I feel like I'm at the theater. I really feel like I'm at the theater. And the funny thing about it is it has that extra bit of salt flavor to make you want that ice cold drink that's also going to cost you money. I hope Champ has water. I should make him hydrate. Wow. That's really, really good, y'all. So I would say, make your movie theater popcorn at home. Get you a popcorn maker, some Flavor Call salt, and some preferred brand popcorn. This is the yellow popcorn. Make your popcorn at home. You don't need to go to the theater. You've got it right here. All right, we're gonna take another quick break. Champrul, this bowl is for you. And when we come back from this break, we have a musical performance from Dr. Lemon. Stay tuned, everybody.
Breaking the fourth wall again. I completely forgot the inability to eat popcorn. Like the way that it was just such a struggle. I genuinely have no idea what happened. Don't worry, you'll get your hydrate in a second. It's the wig merch. If I can find someone to make that terrible wig, then yes. Cass, welcome in. Lee, please. Etsy, someone on Etsy might be able to make that wig. It's such a stiff wig though, like you'd have to intentionally make it bad. Listen, I might be using Squarespace to bring Champrul.com back. Thanks, Fran. She said she was gonna leave me all of it, didn't she? There's like 12, whatever. Anyway, let's taste it. Let's see if she's lying or not. Okay. I actually do feel like I'm in a movie theater. That flavor called salt might have something to it. That Popper does make great popcorn. She said she wasn't hungry though. That's how you remember it, Yudo? I'm gonna have to get you some glasses. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, this has been a great show, and I can't believe it's almost over. I look ugly in glasses. There's no way for you to look ugly, Ryudo, so I don't want to hear that. That is actually just physically impossible. I know how to eat popcorn, okay? See? You love this stream? I'm glad, Honors. I don't think Francesca does, but that's okay. That's on her. Eating popcorn is hard. Exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah, prove it. Prove that you're never mind. This is a family friendly stream. So this show is almost over, and now we have this song by Dr. Lemon.
Thank you, thank you. This song I've heard is dedicated to someone special in the audience today, but this song for me is about a crush that I had almost 20 years ago now. 15 years, 20 years? 15 years, almost 15 years ago now. They were a very special person in my life, and now I just want it to be something that everyone can share with a special person in their life. I'm singing this song for you, baby, to maybe hope that you'd know how I felt. Ooh, I'm singing this song for you, baby, 'cause every time I look at you, I melt. I think about you all the time, 'cause baby, you're just so fine. I want you to be mine. That's the bottom line, 'cause baby, I want you to know I need to find a way to show the way the sun makes your skin glow, makes me go like, whoa. I'm singing this song for you, baby, to maybe hope that you know how I felt. I'm singing this song for you, baby, 'cause every time I look at you, I melt. And don't you realize I love you and never wanna miss you? Don't you know I can't hold back, I'm so in love. I'm singing this song for you, baby, to maybe hope that you know how I felt. Oh, I'm singing this song for you, baby, 'cause every time I look at you, I melt. I think that you're the one for me. I just wish that you could see how happy I would be. I'd get down on one knee. Baby, are you aware how much I really care? I wish I could be there in your heart. I'm singing this song for you, baby, to maybe hope that you know how I felt. Ooh, I'm singing this song for you, baby, 'cause every time I look at you, I melt. I'm singing this song for you, baby, to maybe hope that you know how I felt. I'm singing this song for you, baby, 'cause every time I look at you, I melt. I'm singing this song for you, baby, to maybe hope that you know how I felt. Ooh, I'm singing this song for you, baby, 'cause every time I look at you, I melt. I'm singing this song for you, baby, 'cause I love you.
The song just still brings back so many memories for me. Thank you to Champrul and Francesca for letting me be here on Francesca's last episode. It's an honor. It really is a true honor. And to be able to bring this song back out makes it just even that much more special. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, take it away. Take it away.
Thank you so much to Dr. Lemon for that amazing performance. It's great to see you come out of retirement. It's a little rusty, but big shout out. I know that Fran has a shout out as well, but big shout out to my new girlfriend, who I'm basically thinking about when I hear that song. My new girlfriend Rochelle, who is in the audience.
Your girlfriend?
Okay. Well, it seems like we're out of time for the show today. Thanks everybody for watching the Champrul Show. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.